Can I be honest with you guys? Let's just let me be honest. This is kind of my favorite part right now. This segment right here. I think about my GPS. All right. And I'm telling you folks, for the last 10 years, I have been using my GPS like a madman. Okay. Prior to GPS, I remember, downloading in my go to MapQuest, I would download the directions, right? And I'm going to these events. And I'm like, I'm reading and trying to find where I'm going. All right. And I can't count how many times I came this close to accidents. I can't tell you how many times I said, I'm not going to that place because I'm going alone. No, I'll pass on that one because it was a lot more manual. It required a lot more manual skill. And there are folks who are very good with directions. That was not even my strong point. I was never really good with directions. So I always wanted and needed that direction in front of my eyes. And so when the GPS came about and I got a hold of it, can you imagine how happy this guy felt? I could just type in the address of where I'm going, no matter whether it's morning, noonday, evening, or night. I'll give you a funny story. I had an event one time with a campsite out in Jersey, and my time was at 9 o'clock. They were having some event like where they have those barn fire where they would like roast we call it marshmallows, like a little whatever it is. That was my time to go and play for them. And I'm telling you folks, I put the address in my GPS, and it took me to some places I did not know was possible. I'm talking late at night when it's dark. I'm on a street where there's no street lights. And I'm off the road now into a campsite about 2, 3 miles on the campsite. And I'm going to the actual place. And it took me there. I could not believe it. I could not believe it. Because what? The GPS mobile. So I've said it last week, I think a week before, that with our technology that we have in hands right now, we don't have that much excuse anymore. You know, if you look around lately on these YouTube channels and some places, they keep saying, folks, take a break from social media and learn these AI tools within 28 days, some say 30 days. I think they have a point in that. It's just that most people can't dedicate that daily task. They can't they can't dedicate themselves to that daily task for 30 days. So many folks don't do it. And they go as far as saying, you're over 40, you're over 50, perfect. We want you. They're saying we're making it simple. I don't know how simple it is. I haven't tried it yet. But one thing I know, what I'm sharing here is pretty simple, pretty layman. All right. And so mobile money moves is also a very important factor in you having success. Because these days, we know many folks, especially adults, we have kids. Sometimes we dealing with job issues, and some of us may be in school. Some may have a full-time job, maybe a part-time job, and maybe you want to quit that part-time job, but you're not sure how to navigate around that because you need the funds and things are tight, and you want to make sure that your family's secured, and you don't have the time to really invest in anything else. How about those things that you're concerned about? You don't have to be concerned about it. How about that? How does that sound? Do I sound believable or not? Well, there's no saying. The proof is in the pudding. That's how you're going to determine that by what you actually giving it a test. All right. Now, on my site, I have what they call hubs. Now, my Freedom Hubs is my blog, right? So the Freedom Hub, where you can check out the blogs and see what's going on there. You can read them through, and you can click and see wherever it takes you, and you can definitely become acclimated with that. I have the Family Protection Hub. You know what that is? Can I give a quick story? I was going to Florida some years ago, and I was going through Georgia. And make a long story short, I was going through Georgia, and you know, is the cop word against mine. He said I was speeding. I didn't think I was. I don't think I was at all. I don't think I was. There was a guy who flew past me. I remember the white car, and there was a truck that he overtake me and the truck, and so all of a sudden I'm seeing the siren behind me blinking and the lights flashing. I'm like, okay, I had to pull over. He said I was speeding, and based on what my speed was, that he said, because he never showed me proof, he said it's a misdemeanor. Now, what's a family man like me, who's a law-abiding citizen, doing with a misdemeanor as a black man? How cool would that be to have it on my record? But because of this family protection, I went to Florida and played at the wedding for my wife at the time, best best friend, and enjoyed my time in Florida. Came back to New York where I lived. Matter of fact, I was living back in I was living in Connecticut at the time. I was living in Connecticut and called a company with this service that protects family legally. I made a call and connected with someone there. They said, okay, we find someone in Georgia because this program is countrywide. All right. And they called someone in Georgia and went to court and represented me. And about 3 days later on, I got a call saying, Mr. Merritt, everything is cleared, everything is dropped. Just be careful next time. Can you imagine how I felt? Oh my goodness. But I did my little investment. All right. But it saved me so much stress, heartache, time, and money, and a record because I was protected by the families. Now, a lot of folks out there, entrepreneurs, are you protected legally? Are you protected legally? Some of you are small businesses out there, all right? And you don't want to have an issue where you have to deal with the law and it costs you so much more money. Check out the Family Protection Hub, all right? And you can always email and I can get back to you on that. We can get back to you on that as well. I have what we call the Passive Income Hub, all right? You can check that out. Go in there and see what's in there. Check it out, all right? Because, you know, I'm a very laid man kind of person. I'm not very complicated. So wherever I touch, it's usually is very, very simple. I'm a twin, and my brother, when we were younger, like little kids, little toddlers, growing up to be preteens and so forth. My brother was very creative. He could take anything apart and put it back together. I mean, every toy you had, he would open it, check it out, back and front, and put it back together. My toy never got touched because if I open that toy, say I'm gonna try to mess with it, guess what happened? I cannot put it back together again. So I leave it alone. Keep it simple. Leave my car, and I'm fine. So whatever I touch, it's going to be simple ABC. All right. I have what you call a digital training hub. All right, where that's I would say in a way it's coming soon. Some stuff is coming there soon. And I have information there you can check out and look at and just listen on in and get your mind into what's coming. And more and more stuff will be coming in the future on that. All right. So there are things that are happening there. Some of you are big on books because the claim is that folks don't read these days. And it's not true. I learned differently that folks do read, you know. So for those who looking to purchase my book or to be a part of the book club, and you want to maybe have me come on, maybe share something with your audience, could be a church, could be a business, could be something that you feel that I can bring value. I am more than welcome to come and speak and share at your event. And if you give me half an hour, I'll stay with it. Even though I'm a long talker, I'll work with your time. Okay, I know when to balance that length of talking that I do. Yeah, so I'm excited about that. And so we offer these things here at Next Level with Keith, and I want you to just embrace what's yours, what you feel aligned with. And I'm telling you, but by doing so, you definitely will be getting the benefit of what we have to offer here. So so getting back to the money, mobile money moves, is that you know I've got to learn that not every fast move is a smart move. All right, and it's true when it comes to finances. There are two major traps that can work against long-term success. All right, there are always traps, and look out for these things and what can work against you from you reaching your goal. All right, the first is what? Choosing speed over strategy. All right, so sometimes speed is not starting quickly. Is when you start, you're expecting things to happen quickly. Some things you need to move on it right away. It calls for that. All right, because there's something called times and trends, and sometimes there are things that take place, and there are windows and time frame that you want to captivate and capture. All right, uh I'm not sure if y'all noticed, but as I observe the world and I'm doing my own personal investigation, there is a reset, I believe, that's going on. Look at AI right now, and the next 2 3 years, it's going to be a massive difference to the world. And I think I mentioned this in my last episode, that we may start seeing robots walking around like human beings, and maybe a lot of them doing stuff and walking around and seem like they're normal, acclimated into society. And we're gonna probably think it's cute. We're gonna hey, look at this robot doing this over there, and women find it cute. But they're coming for your jobs. I've read prediction about how many jobs are going to be gone within 2 3 4 years. All right, a lot. Recently, I understand one of the major telephone company over here in the United States went down for, I think, a day and a half. I understand that what came back up was mostly robots, AI. The company that did my car insurance 6 months ago, there was all people I'm talking to on this on when I called them to pay my bill out or whatever, ask a question. Now when I call them now, it's all AI. All AI. I'm like, where are the people? So folks don't realize that the job world is going to be significantly changed. And the thing is that one of the ways we can prepare ourselves is what can we do now? All right. In next 2 3 years, 4 years from now, we can say, you know what? Because I started today, this is where I've reached. Each day you put off, each month you put off, only lengthens that time. So, you know, it's important. So the speed, it may take time, but when you start is important too. All right. So if you can start today, you have the strength, the mind, you have the will, do it. That's the idea. Start it. The second thing is is being fooled by temporary gains. Again, it's a trap. So instant wins can feel exciting, right? But they often create a sense of a false sense of security. All right. So these sudden wins can sometimes create a false sense of security. So I've learned this, that real lasting wealth is built or is not built overnight. It's the result of patience, consistency, and making strategic choice over time. Now, how do you get strategy? How does that happen? Because sometimes what you have in your mind is not going to work. That's where the coaching and mentorship comes in. It gives you a strategy. Because you're smart. You have You have stuff in your heart, in your mind, but how did you now get all that together and connect it so you can see it? Because if you can't really see it, you won't know what's in front of you. But when you can see it, it's like, oh my goodness, it's like a whole new feeling of like empowerment when you can see it, like, oh, now I see how the dots are connected. And it gives that drive and that passion. And when is at the end. All right. So mobile money and digital tools are powerful and we have them, but success still depends on how wisely we use them. All right. So a lot of what I share here, it can be done on your phone. You have a phone and Wi-Fi, it can be done. All right. You don't need an office space, inventory, set up shop. All right. You don't need all these things to make it happen. You have Wi-Fi and a mobile. I mean, that's amazing. All right. So see, once I slow down, I stay strategic and focus on long-term growth, the money moves become purposeful, not just fast. All right. So moving forward, right, with a clear expectations, by breaking free from microwave expectations is important. Breaking free from microwave expectations, right, to achieve what enduring success is very essential to move beyond instant gratification. I've said it so many times in this segment here that it's really a key to understand. Genuine wealth and freedom result from consistent, focused effort over time. Could be small, step by step, bite size. Make it happen. The desire for immediate outcome often result in burnout and frustration. Instead of dedicate yourself to the process, learn from each phase and what? And celebrate minor achievements. And the last time, guess what happened? When I realized I had the 125,000 K, I went and had me a special meal that I don't have very often and celebrated my win. But guess who encouraged me to do that? My coach. I was like, wow, that's cool. Thank you. You say, you know what? Go out and celebrate. Do something nice. I probably wouldn't have, but by hearing that from someone else, yeah, you know what? I'm gonna do that. And it felt really nice going out by myself and getting a meal that I really enjoyed. It was a little more on the priciest side, but it didn't matter. All right. So celebrating wins is so important. And just getting started. I think I mentioned on one of my episodes that when they showed me the statistic of those people who started podcasts and didn't last 2 years, I was surprised how many of them stopped and gave up. And one of the main reasons why is because they didn't have a strategy, they didn't have a coach, a mentor. And so I feel blessed. I feel super thankful that I have someone in my corner to help to steer me and give me those nudges and the nuggets when it's needed. All right, so I want you to join what the Freedom Chasers community. Are you a freedom chaser or what? Are you a freedom chaser or what? If you are, let me see if you can give a thumbs up in that chat or a like or something. Say freedom chasers in that chat. Let me hear you. All right. So what? You're gonna take action. What? Not tomorrow, not next week, but today. Reflect what? On your mindset. Evaluate your circle and seek new opportunities. Sometimes, you may have regret about what you did last week or last month or last year or last 5 years or last 10 years. But you know what? It's a new day. There are new opportunities. There are new things are happening and happening rapidly. I spoke to someone recently, and it seems to be a common thing that people say. I was trying to share something with that person, and it was like, is it one of those things? I'm like, oh my goodness, what are you saying? Is it one of those things? No idea what it is, but just the fact that they had an experience or experiences in the past, they assume now it's the same thing again all over again, but it's not. very different. And every once in a while, I just stumble upon it. And I'm telling you, it's just worth you exploring. And I want to say thank you for those folks who are reaching out and those who are looking to be on my show and share with you, the audience, some really important things, how you can expand your horizon, expand yourself. And guess what? It's never too old to learn. All right. And I'm grateful to actually to be here again. And you know, it's a blessing to me to give. And I want you to win. And someone told me today and in the past few weeks over and over again that nothing gives me more joy than when I see others win, especially those folks I'm working with or part of my network. I want to see you win. And I'm feeling the same way. If you told me that you actually came here, you found some nuggets, it impacted your life, and it put you from A to B or to the next level, I mean, that would give me so much joy because that's what I want to happen. I've been through those days when I saw people like numbers. All right, my next check, my next monthly, you know, commission. I've been there 10, 15, 20 years ago. I know what that is. But those days are long gone. It's about me bringing value. How can I impact you, the viewer, the listener, those who may be hungry, looking for something to sink their teeth in and win? All right. That's what it's all about. So I took time to learn me, understand me, love me. And that way I know when I do speak to you, you ought to feel that energy. You have to feel that transparency. You have to feel that calmness, that conviction, confidence. All right. And know that, listen to me, it's inspiration after inspiration. And we are part of a winning team. That's what the next level with Keith is all about. So again, thank you for being here in another segment. Thank you for staying with me for the entire thing. Those of you who did stay, and for leaving your comments, and for liking, subscribing, and sharing. Oh, it's a big deal. Thank you so much because others get to share and see what's going on here. All right? Because we share because we care. We share because we care. So, with that said, let me say again, good night. God bless you. Stay safe and move on it while you can. See you on the next segment, the next level with Keith. God bless you.
Strong organizations are built on more than strategy, they're built on people. At Human Impact Development Consulting, we help organizations strengthen leadership and support staff well-being. We put clear people systems in place that actually work. From HR advisory and policy development to leadership support, we cover it all. Our approach is practical, ethical, and people-centered. If ready for clarity, confidence, and sustainable impact, visit sandrinedunkley.com. Human Impact Development Consulting, where people systems meet performance.
If today's episode spoke to you, it's because you're ready. Ready for your money to work for you. Ready for practical steps, not just motivation. Ready for faith-led financial freedom. Ready to build stability, peace, and confidence for your family. You're not alone on this journey. The Next Level isn't just a podcast. It's a movement toward freedom, one episode at a time. Stay connected. Listen anytime at podcast.keithmerritt.com. Explore the Next Level Movement Hub. Subscribe on YouTube at Keith Merritt. Like, share, comment. Your engagement helps this message reach more families. Take your next step. Visit keithmerritt.com/impact/the next level. Subscribe for the latest blog from the Freedom Resource Hub and join the Next Level Resource Network. Choose the hub that fits your journey: music and speaking, family protection, digital learning, passive income, or Keith's book and reading hub, press play. Take action. Your next level is calling.